If you were to cross-examine all of the people that you admire and respect, well, at least in terms of character, not necessarily skill, but if you were to cross-examine all of these people, you would begin to notice a common theme that kind of garners our respect or our admiration for these people. If you were to look at these people, you would begin to recognize and kind of begin to notice that these people are highly confident individuals. Like, they are hyper confident, one may say. No matter what goes on around them, they're internally firm. They can make a mistake in front of a group of people and not even bat an eye, not even be fazed. It's like they don't even feel embarrassment. It's like they don't even feel shame. It's like nothing could stop them, right? And at least the people that I look up to, I'm not sure for you, I'm sorry that I made such a bold assumption in the beginning, but at least to the people that I look up to, a common factor that those people have are that they are these very confident and firm individuals. So I started to think about it. I'm like, okay, I look up to these people, I respect these people highly. They have this common trait about them. I don't have this common trait. How can I get this common trait for myself? How can I develop this level of hyper confidence, one may say? How can I develop that, right? And so I thought about it. This is way back when, but I thought about it and I came to a solution. I applied the solution, and I could confidently say that I am one of those people. It just is what it is. So I'm about to teach y'all how to do it. If you want to apply it, apply it. If you just want to listen to the video just to gain more knowledge, that's okay too. I do that at times as well. But the main difference that I noticed between normal people and these hyper confident individuals is that normal people are reactive while these hyper confident people are proactive. And I'm really hoping I'm using those words properly. If I'm not, put it in the comments. But as you begin to hear the descriptions between the two, hear the difference between the two, it should begin to make sense. Now, let's take a look at normal people, reactive people. Normal people, reactive, being a reactive, let's just say framework. When you are permeated, or what is the next word I use? Mired, I like that. When you are permeated or mired in the reactive framework, you have no firm sense of self or no firm identity, or your identity is based on external factors, right? So let's say you were to go in for a job interview. You go in for the job interview, you put your best foot forward, you thought you did pretty well during the interview. You got the email says, we regret to inform you, but we decided to go with other candidates at this time. We hope that you'll apply again. You already know what the email looks like, right? So a reactive person in this case would look at that rejection and look at that rejection as a marker to their their level of success, and two, their worth, their sense of worth. They would look at this rejection and say, man, these people didn't think that I was worthy enough to be a part of their company or to join their company or to work for them. And then they would get down. Here's the next example I could give. All of us have had this experience before. You say you greet someone or you try to speak to somebody, but they're closed off, they're indifferent in some way, shape, or form. They don't react in the way that you would have liked them to react. You say good morning to them and they completely give you the cold shoulder, and you're looking at them like, what the hell happened? A reactionary person would look at this and say, damn, was I not even worth enough to really just say something to, or hello to, or hi to? Here's the common theme in the reactionary framework. In this reactionary framework, a reactionary person, a reactive person, takes an external stimulus and internalizes an external stimulus. So if you take a look at the course of how information is processed in terms of the mind, something goes on in the outside world, there's something in the outside world, they look at this external thing and then internalize, create a story, they take a look at this external stimulus, this external thing, right? create a negative story around it, right? And then internalize that negative story. So this story could stem from negative experiences of the past, negative beliefs, or just insecurity, inferiority, all that, right? But they create a story about this thing and then they internalize it, right? And because they allow this external thing to move them, this is what makes them reactionary. There is no internal basis or internal code of how to interpret external relationship. They see rejection on the outside, they perceive that as rejection, internalize the rejection. They see failure on the outside, perceive that as failure, and then internalize the failure. This is a reactionary model of how this person moves in the world. They take an external stimulus, they take it for what it is, rather than giving it a value, and we're going to talk about it, but they take the external stimulus for what it is, rather than giving it a specific value in their world from their perspective. No, they take it from the world's perspective. Oh, you got rejected, you must not be worthy enough. Oh, you failed, you must be a failure, right? And they take this external definition and internalize it. Ooh, I articulated that well. But they take this external definition and internalize it. This is what a reactionary person is. And this is why a reactionary person doesn't have a lot of power in their life. Because the power is externalized. The power is given to something rather than given to self. Rather than seated within the throne of self, right? Now, let's begin to contrast this with the proactive person. The proactive person, they have an internal anchor of self. Let me rephrase that. They have, they have an internal locus or internal idea of self. They are anchored within themselves. They know who they are. And in this definition of knowing who they are, because they went through the process of consciously choosing who they are. If you want to know how to do that, I break down how to choose who you are and choose a new definition for yourself in a past video that I did. It's called the mind's parasite, something along those lines, the mind's parasite. You'll see it. But they have an internal definition of self, and when something external happens, instead of taking the external thing at face value, they impute a different connotation or a different idea as to what that thing means based on who they choose themselves to be. So this same person, they applied for the job, they feel as though they did well in the interview, but they got that email that says, "We regret to inform you, we will decide to go with other applicants at this time," right? Instead of saying, "They rejected me, I must not be worthy," this is what they say to themselves, depending on how they have, or the definition that they have within themselves. A definition could be that I am a qualified individual. I will always be qualified. I will always be worthy. I will always be enough. So they can look at this rejection letter, this rejection email, and say, "Nah, they tripping. They tripping. I don't know what's going on with them, but they made a bad choice." That's a definition that I am worthy. These people are tripping, right? Or a next definition could be that there are many, another definition that they could say, another story that they can impute onto this rejection and say, there could be many internal things going on with the company, and you know what? They didn't choose me at this time. I still feel as though that's their loss, but maybe there's something going on with the company, or maybe whatever situation is going on. I don't know, but I'm not going to internalize this rejection because I am not rejected. I am me, right? I hope I really explained that well. But in that sense and in that case, instead of taking what the external stimulus at face value and internalizing it, they look at the external stimulus and give it a story based on who they are. Right? So another example, like I say, let's just say I go shoot my shot at a girl, right? And then I'm not sure, a majority of females don't shoot their shot at men. But try to make this make sense to you. Let's say I go shoot my shot at a girl, it doesn't hit. It don't work. It don't work out. I don't go to myself and say, "Man, I'm rejected. She don't like me. I must not be worth it. I must not be worth enough. Or I must not be attractive." I don't say these things to myself. What I say to myself is, I know who I am. I know my worth. I know that I am an attractive person, but I also could recognize that who knows, that could be something else going on with them. Maybe she has another man on the side. Maybe she just doesn't want to be in a relationship right now. Maybe she just doesn't want to entertain, or maybe on face value, I wasn't her type. You never know the reason, but I am not going to internalize a story in a way that is not in alignment with who I say that I am or who I've defined myself to be. So this is the difference between a reactive and a proactive model. A reactive model takes external stimulus at face value and internalizes what that means as it is. You were rejected, you must not be worthy. You failed, you must be a failure. You didn't do well enough, you must always be the kind of person that falls short. Proactive person, what do? Oh, I got rejected, something must be going on in their internal systems. They don't internalize it in that sense. Oh, I failed in this way? Nah, that's not failure. I just found the right way to do it wrong. How did Thomas Edison? It was Thomas Edison. I didn't fail 100 times. I successfully found the wrong way to do it. Something along those lines, right? I just found the wrong way to do it. I just got a step closer to doing it right the next time. I just gained some XP. You know what I'm saying? It's all about how you choose to relay the information to yourself. The external information will remain the same. The rejection letter is still the same. You still got rejected. You still, quote unquote, failed. Didn't hit the mark, right? How will you relay this information to yourself? And the way that you relay this information to yourself is largely based upon the identity that you have, the definition that you've chosen for yourself. And this is why all of these hyper-confident people are the way that they are. They've chosen definitions and frames of thinking that are directly advantageous and beneficial to them. And something that these people have, these hyper-confident people have, is that they act, they think, and they are referring to state of being, irrespective of external forces. So regardless of what is going on in the world, regardless of if this thing failed, I am not a failure, I am a winner, because that is something I define myself as. Whether someone responds positively to my greeting or not, that doesn't matter to me, because I define myself as a charismatic social person, even if this person didn't respond socially in kind. Okay, someone says something about me like, oh, you ugly as hell. Am I going to internalize that as a reactive person? Or will I be a proactive person and say, I know myself to be a very attractive person? I consider myself attractive and I like the fact that I am attractive. So this person could say that I'm ugly, but I don't have to accept that or internalize it in any way, shape, or form. I can actually look at that external stimulus and say, something must be going on with this person to make them feel that it's okay to say something like that. Something might be going on up in here within them. It's just so many different frames that you could take, and this is where your own experimentation will have to take place. But these self-confident people act, think, and are irrespective of external forces. They are the constant. They look at the world from their point of view rather than look at themselves from the world's point of view. And that's another major key difference. This is making sense. Yes, this is making sense. A reactive person looks at themselves from the world's point of view. A proactive person, a self-confident person, looks at the world from their point of view. They choose what external stimuli mean to them, while a reactive person takes the external stimuli at face value and accepts it. And this is why a lot of people are negative in the world. A lot of people don't achieve the goals that they want to achieve because they haven't really built this kind of, castle, tower, or this self. They haven't built this self. So how do you build this self? I talked about it in one of my past videos, The Mind's Parasite. It touches on it lightly. No, it touches on it very heavily. It breaks it down, thought processes, all of that. But that's the difference between, the self-confident people and just normal people. Love y'all. Y'all stay safe. Mwah.